None of you can cry for the rest of the episode. If you do, we'll find out and you'll be punished with more heartwarming stories. Don't hate yourself.
I said I hate myself. I don't hate myself today.
Good. And neither should any of you who are listening. What's up?
What's up?
I feel so tempted to just say, what's up? Hello. And I know that's Jerry and
What's
Sarah.
up? Hello. This is Ladies and Tangents.
We've
I'm
been
Sarah.
possessed.
This is Jerry.
What's up? We're not actually Ladies and Tangents.
We should
You have
dress up
not
as them
tuned
for
in.
Halloween.
That would be
They dressed
a
up
good
as each
idea.
other one time, right?
I think so, yeah.
Or Jerry dressed up as Sierra. I know that.
With the black wig.
Yeah.
Well, hi, everyone.
I'm going to attempt to
Do you want to tell us who we really are?
Oh, this is Two Girls, One Ghost.
Two girls, one ghost. And we are your ghostesses. That is Corinne.
Hello.
I'm Sabrina, and I just noticed we forgot to turn the lamp on.
Too late. I'm comfortable in my seat.
Hi. This is an Encounters episode, and if you can't tell, based on the blue lighting that we have going on, today is going to be feel good. Blue aura energy.
Good? Oh, blue aura. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
It's like the sea, dying at sea. Pirates! I
wish we had enough stories to do a pirates themed
Guys,
encounters.
Go find pirate ghosts. We don't have enough of it.
Please give us more pirates. No, but today we have seen your calls, or the couple of you.
At the sea, the siren calls.
There's nothing about the ocean in this episode. Corinne is misleading you. Don't listen to her.
Like a siren. Like a mermaid.
Oh my
I trick
God.
you.
Don't trust her.
Okay, yeah. What are we talking about today?
Heartwarming stories.
Because
you all have requested that maybe once in a while there's an episode that doesn't startle and frighten you. So here you go. Here's one.
So
just
here
one.
You go. You sounded so unenthused.
Well, yeah, because I like scary.
I don't want to do this, but here you go.
Okay. This is Heartwarming Ghost Stories. And unfortunately, with heartwarming comes some sad things as well.
Mm-hmm. Because heartwarming plus ghost story is usually someone's loved one has passed and they're receiving signs. Often. Not always.
Yes. Okay, so this one, I think Sarah actually shared this with us on Campfire Stories because I was like, I know this story. But it has video proof.
I love evidence.
It's called Angel Grandma Saved My Baby Boy. Hey, ladies, love you so much. Video proof is attached at the bottom, and yes, you can use my name. Content warning, this does discuss pregnancy loss and infertility. But today I have a heartwarming story of a grandma lost too soon who became my son's guardian angel. I've always believed in the paranormal and ghosty UFO-y stuff, but I never really experienced anything until one night in October 2015. My husband and I were both married and then divorced when we met, so we started our family a little late in the game. After 4 years of fertility treatments, scans, and a shit ton of meds, 5 pregnancy losses, and 2 surgeries, we finally got to hold our precious baby boy. So let's back up 9 months to what would later become the end of our fertility ordeal. My husband and I went to visit my grandmother in Arkansas right before she passed. We knew she wasn't doing well, and we were able to give her one last hug before she left us. During this visit, we talked about everything we had been through in order to get that baby. And her funeral happened to fall on the same day I was supposed to have my egg retrieval, which was a bummer.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, what's one more month compared to the years we had been waiting? But no shit, when I returned home, my doctor was elated to see that my eggs were ready for the plucking. Unexpected.
Funny
those
way.
eggs.
Pluck them.
Which was unexpected, but we were like, let's go. And we got one healthy egg that was retrieved, and it was the one we had been waiting for. For those of you who don't know about fertility, there are usually way more. But we got one, and we crossed our fingers and went for it. And this is when
I will say though, like maybe this is like the perfect. I feel like it's going to be the perfect egg because while there are many that are retrieved, oftentimes like the grading of the eggs, there are only maybe a couple, 2, 3 that seem to be. This is the perfect egg, viable, and this is your golden egg.
This is when we got pregnant with Matthew. Flash forward a couple of months and 60-some odd sleepless nights. His doctor sat us down to tell us that there was a tiny little hole in Matthew's heart that had not closed like they expected. Apparently, this does happen a lot with newborns, but the body usually has a way of healing it. This was not going to be the case for Matthew. And of course, this shattered us. My sister has a hole in her heart.
Does she?
Mm-hmm.
Like currently?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know one or two people who also had newborns.
Yeah.
That had that, but it did correct itself.
Yeah.
So it does seem more common. So what did your sister, has she had to do anything?
It was like they had to monitor it, but there's like things that she's supposed to avoid. And then they are extra cautious now with her kids. But hers, where it is, it's like not a problem.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's so like interesting how humans are born and can just like survive and thrive with all of this stuff.
My friend L'Oreal, all of her organs are swapped.
Same with Freya's mom.
That's crazy.
And my dad's intestines are swapped.
Wild.
Everything's backwards. It's like maybe ours are too, but no one's looked. You don't know until you know.
You would know because...
And Sarah from Jerry from Jerry and Tangents. She's missing an organ mysteriously.
That's true. Back to the story. So unfortunately, this was not the case for Matthew, which of course shattered us. On the eve of his doctor's appointment, when we were going to decide how we were going to move forward with his heart issue, I laid there. I was watching him sleep through the monitor because that's what I did nightly as an obsessed new mom. When no fucking shit, I started to notice something. I was like, is there a car light shining through the window? Were my eyes playing tricks on me? Did I drink too much wine? So I pulled my phone out to capture what seemed to be an illusion. I saw a tiny light beginning to flicker over his little baby heart, almost as if it was beating like a heart. This little light.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck? I played it back over and over. My husband and I were stumped and just chalked it up to some type of error on the video. Or maybe we just needed sleep. The next morning was the big day. At his appointment, the doctor had done her thing. And then she looked at us and she goes, I'm not sure what happened. And our first instinct when we heard the sentence was, oh shit, it's worse than we thought.
Right, your heart drops.
But no, the doctor said, his heart is fine. It seems like the hole has closed.
A miracle.
Closed?
Oh, I have chills.
She couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. But what was even more shocking was when we pulled out the video that we had taken the night before. It seemed like something was beating over his heart and helped close the hole overnight. We showed the doctor and she
Aliens.
Was like, right? We showed the doctor and she asked if she could show it to all the nurses. All they could do was gasp and say things like, oh my God, this is a miracle. We were all in tears. I'm in tears. I know it was my grandmother looking down and helping her new grandson that she had never met. This is why I don't do heartwarming stories.
Because you cry.
I tell my son...
This is such a good one, though. I'm very proud of you for finding this.
Thanks. Thanks to Sarah for emailing it. I tell my son this story all the time, and I want him to know that there are so many guardian angels, and his great-grandma is always watching over him. Grandma Carson, if you can hear this, I love you, and thank you, Grammy. Thank you for listening. See you on the other side.
That is so sweet.
Okay, and here's the
And it feels like she plucked Matthew herself, because she was like, here he is.
And here's the video.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's so small.
Holy... that is not what I was expecting.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, and look at his sweet little angel face just sitting there, laying there. Oh, his little legs. Now I'm going to cry. Like, look at how sweet he is.
It's so sweet. It's unbelievable.
He's just peacefully sleeping there and someone's fixing his heart. Okay, the end. That was our heartwarming episode.
We're just going to cry for the rest of the day.
Oh my God.
All right, let's pivot. Let's go to some pirates.
Okay. Are you ready for some booty? Story? I've got some stories for you. Oh my God, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry to wreck you all. This is why we don't do heartwarming all the time, because it's almost, I would say, arguably more emotional and painful.
Yeah.
In like a positive way, but like, God, it
pulls on your heartstrings.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, we can't cry for the rest of the episode. That's the rule.
Okay, let's make this a game because I can't imagine. None of you can cry for the rest of the episode. If you do, we'll find out and you'll be punished with more heartwarming stories.
Mine are heartwarming in a less crying way.
Okay.
I do think that
I think my next two are as well.
But now this makes me want to do one that's themed like miracles because that is such a good...
I was trying to find... And you'll see the theme, that was, especially with my last story, but I was trying to find stories similar to that one we read so many years ago where there was like two people who were on a camping trip and they weren't going to go out on their boat but then like something kept telling them to go out in the boat.
Yeah.
And they truly saved other people. Like,
yeah.
Or like they were, I can't remember, but it was like they were
It was
saved.
like, someone, it was like a kayaker, like someone needed help and they were there in the right moment.
And so I was trying to find stories like that.
Yeah.
Third man
syndrome.
Yeah.
But like, you're the third man. You were just supposed to be there. This is from Leah and it's called See You on the Other Side. Very heartwarming.
Okay.
See how keywords help us?
They really do. It's like the SEO in searching on the internet. Honestly, just put the straight up blunt, here's what the episode
like
or what the story is.
Basically. That's what we need.
And then something catchy too. You know,
which like
you can make a long
Gmail,
subject line.
Not to shit on Outlook, but one time I had to use Outlook for work. Outlook just like, I don't even know what it does.
Me neither. I've never used it.
Good. Don't. Let's just say if we had Outlook, we would have like 2 stories that we'd be able to locate in our inbox. Things would go missing. Give us your taglines.
So fuck you, Outlook.
So, Microsoft, I got beef with you. Hey, ghoulies. I said I was going to write a little bit more, and as usual, I did not. Whoops. But here is a little story about my dad and his best friend in remembrance of my dad's passing being just over a year ago. And this was sent 3 days ago, October 11th, 2025.
We're sorry for your loss.
Yeah, so sorry. My dad's best friend since high school came over to our house almost every single day. Our families were so close. We would go on vacation together. We'd go camping all the time. And they would hang out in the garage together and watch football games. His friend would even be there when my dad wasn't. And it was so often that my friends would come over and they didn't always know who my dad was and who was his friend.
They're interchangeable.
I love that. When all of their friends got together, they were known as the Garage Crew.
Oh, because I hung out in the garage.
And she writes goals, honestly.
Yeah. I really do hope that Noah's friends can't tell the difference between Noah's
us,
mom and me.
The spooky brunettes.
The spooky ghouls.
Drifting through the house.
And we're the creepy room ghouls.
Yeah.
The off-limits room. No one's allowed in here. They don't even know what's behind the
forbidden
doors.
room.
It's Narnia.
When I was a freshman in high school, so 2011, I had a dream that I was coming home and his friend was in the garage. He stopped me and said, "Hey, Bug, I gotta go for a little while, but I'll see you again soon, okay?" And I thought that this dream was so weird. But I woke up the next morning and actually remembered the dream, which doesn't always happen. Later that day, I was walking home and my mom texted me, kind of rushing me to get back. Once I got there, she told me that my dad's friend had had a heart attack and he passed away that afternoon.
I have to go for a little while.
Hey, Bug, I gotta go for a little while, but I'll see you again soon, okay? And this is also like one of those weird time things because it's like he passed in the afternoon, but like somehow his soul or spirit like knew before when we're not supposed to cry.
I know,
Sabrina.
it's not fair.
His favorite team was the Minnesota Vikings, and my dad kept a Vikings football helmet in the garage for him. If the Vikings did especially bad, the helmet would sometimes fall off the hook in the garage.
No.
My dad knew it was him. My dad sometimes had dreams of his friend, and he would make a point to go drink a beer at his grave if that ever happened.
That I love, because when we did I feel like we talked about graveyards and like traditions and like family tradition when it comes to like going to visit graves. I love going to drink a beer at someone's grave. I think that's so special.
It is. Last October 2024, my dad passed away very suddenly.
Ugh.
I took my mom to get a memorial tattoo for him a couple months after. We were talking, we were grieving, and I mentioned the dream that I had all those years ago. Ooh. Sorry, now I'm getting a little like flustered.
I know, it's hard to read when you're also trying to not cry.
Yeah. She said, "You're not going to believe it. I was taking a nap on the couch that day, and I had a dream that he came in the house to say goodbye. And it felt so real that when I woke up, I didn't know why he'd come to the house to say goodbye when he never actually did that." I will also note that my mom's bloodline had a practicing psychic who helped her friend strike oil on their property from a dream. But that's a story for another time. Oh my God.
I want to hear that.
I wholeheartedly believe that he made his rounds to say goodbye to his loved ones, and it doesn't end there. A few weeks after my dad passed, my mom got a message from my dad's friend's niece that lived in Florida, where we would all go on vacation together. She said that she had a dream that they were all hanging out on the beach and asked her to take a picture of them and to show us so that we know that they were all together.
Oh.
The other side must be beautiful. Thank you for creating a place to share these stories. Sending you so much love, Leah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's
like losing two dads.
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
But I 100% know that they are watching from the other side and they're both your guardians and looking out for you and they're together.
I love too that like they just loved hanging out with each other, and now that they're both in the same place again, they're like, we'll go on vacation. We'll go to Florida. Yeah. Like, hey, take a pic, show our family. We're together. Send them our picture. Like, aww. That is so sweet. But yeah, no, it's exceptionally sad. But like how this is, I feel like proof of how connected this family was and how like close too that they all were able to get the signs.
Yeah,
and other people are continuing to give them signs. It's like, so many people ask for that, and I don't want to insinuate that certain people like aren't close or don't have enough power to get that sort of thing. But in this specific case, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
With the holidays coming up, me and all the other women in my life, we normally like to gift each other like our favorite perfumes, our favorite new makeup, so everyone gets to try things. And this year, I have the best gift.
I think I know what it is.
It's from Jones Road. They have 5 limited edition kits in their collection, which are trios that include new holiday shades and products and packaging. And I'm so obsessed with their products already. And I know everyone's going to be obsessed.
Truly, Jones Road products are next level. One, they're clean products, which is a big deal for us because we care what we're putting on our skin. But they make it so easy. Like, I love their Miracle Bombs, which are basically products that you can use for so many different purposes.
Right.
And it's easy to travel with. Like, I have one that's like a blush, but it also could be an eyeshadow.
And it melts into your skin. It's like, it is a miracle. It's magic.
It gives you that really natural, like dewy goddess look that everyone is after.
This holiday season, simplify your routine with makeup that's clean, strategic, and multifunctional. From November 18th to December 1st, Jones Road is doing their first ever Black Friday sale. So go to jonesroadbeauty.com to get up to 20% off site-wide. That's jonesroadbeauty.com for up to 20% off your entire order. And after you purchase, they will ask where you heard about them. So please let them know that we sent you.
Okay. Well, this one's going to be a little bit of a pivot. It's like heartwarming, but it has like other elements, like Ouija boards. Okay. This is from our listener, Aaliyah. Hey, girls. I absolutely love the pod. I'm Aaliyah from Iowa. I'm 16, by the way. This was sent in 2020. So now you're 21.
Congrats on being able to legally consume a beverage.
Congrats. Okay, and your podcast really helps me get through long high school classes. I hope you're still listening. This story begins when I was like 8 or 9. My bedroom was across the hall from the room I'm in now. At that time, I had a small twin bed with a purple and pink bedspread and a hot pink canopy hanging above my head. Those days, I wanted to be a princess. And now I ride horses.
Yeah, that's a very princess
That's a great
thing
segue.
To do.
This one experience was my first night of sleep paralysis. I always kept my door open when I was young. I told my parents that I keep my door open because if a ghost is going to kill me, I'd rather keep my door open so it goes faster. Fair.
Or so everyone can hear.
Or hopefully someone can save you.
Right.
I was a dumb child and now I always keep my door shut. It's interesting. I still keep my door open. I cannot sleep or go to the bathroom with my door closed.
I feel like it depends on the place and house for me. Like at my childhood home, I needed the door to be open. But here I keep my door closed.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm a door open everywhere. I mean, unless I'm in public, then I close the door.
Yeah.
Keep your nudie private parts private.
Keep your nudie private parts private.
Words. Okay, so anyway, this night was a cool night and I was fast asleep. My door was open, and being the light sleeper I am, I woke up to a creak on the wood floor outside of my bedroom. The sound was in the hall. I was facing the door. My eyes shot open as I looked around, still in the position I woke up in, because I couldn't move. I could only move my eyes. And I was looking around the room. My eyes kept going back to the door. And I bet you'll never guess what time it was when I saw this. 3 a.m. But yeah, I saw a large man, or whatever the fuck it was. He was black as night, slick back hair, almost like John Travolta in Grease. He was in a factory uniform with old worn work boots, and my heart started racing. He was just standing there in my doorway. And after a while of just basically having a stare contest with what I thought was a frickin' demon, I fell back asleep. This happened throughout the week, but he just stayed there, always staring at me, except for the last night. The last night, I woke up to this demon man standing above me. It's like one of those things where it's like they don't move, and then all of a sudden,
yeah.
Oh, I heard him whisper, "Breakfast is ready."
What the heck? That's either the nicest, kindest ghost, or he's just like thinking of what can I say that
is so weird.
Yeah, just so weird. Like, is that his tagline before he tries to murder you? Breakfast is ready. I'm serving up murder.
Your breakfast. Well, we'll get answers. So fast forward to this last year, I was hanging out with my friend Emma. Emma and I have drifted quite a bit since this happened, yet we still talk about our recurring visits by this one entity, if that's the right word. So anyway, I went to Emma's house after a 4-H meeting. We both had the brilliant idea of doing a fucking Ouija board. So we made one out of a notebook and a water bottle cap.
I love the homemade Ouija board stories.
Her parents...
Because it's like there's so much fear around an actual Ouija board, but like anything can be...
Anything.
Can create one. It's about intention and opening up a channel.
And you can use anything to communicate with the spirit world.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we had this conversation before. It's like, why were we originally afraid of Ouija boards but not pendulums? Like it's
the same.
Asking to talk.
Same thing. So Emma's parents and grandparents are very religious, and they both live across the road from each other. So keep in mind, this is in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. We decided to go down to the pond cabin and use the spirit board there. So we walked down the gravel road to the pond with her grandparents' old German shepherd named Rebel. We made it to the cabin, got the notebook with the Ouija board that I had sketched out and the water bottle cap that we cut the top out of. We sat down, we lit a candle. And after BSing for a while and talking to a couple spirits, we decided to do one more session, and after that, be done. Emma and I placed our fingers on top of the cap. I always told Emma it's important to say and ask for nice spirits. So I let Emma ask the first couple of questions. Emma started out by saying, "Are there any spirits out there that want to join us?" And I was low-key pissed because I literally had just said you ask for nice spirits, and she just didn't. We immediately get a yes. Then Emma asked more questions. "What's your name?" It spells out the name Michael. Emma asks, "How did you die?" "Factory fire." "How old were you when you died?" 25. "Do you know either of us?" "Yes." "Which one?" This punk-ass bitch of a spirit spelled out my fucking name. I did everything I could to not take my hand off of this cap. Emma kept asking questions. "How do you know her?" It said, "Fire. Daughter." Emma and I decided, well, we need to ask some follow-up questions. So we asked, "Did you have a daughter?" "Yes." "How did she die?" "Factory fire." "How old was she?" 7. "What does Aaliyah have to do with your daughter?" It spelled out TWINS. Twins. Like we look like twins. And then we asked, "Have you visited Aaliyah before?" And it spelled out 8 years old. Aaliyah was 8 the last time she saw the entity in the factory uniform.
Oh my gosh.
So she got an answer of like who this was. Breakfast is ready. It really wasn't.
It wasn't supposed to be malicious.
I start telling Emma about my sleep paralysis demon that I had when I was 8 years old. And Rebel, the dog, starts freaking out and barking at the cabin. So we say goodbye. We rip up the freaking Ouija board and threw it in the goddamn pond. We agreed that apparently I must have looked like his daughter and he was probably looking at me thinking that I was her. We both still have experiences with Michael. Me more than her. I can't even light a candle in my bedroom without the flames being blown out. I think it's Michael because he died in a fire.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is nice. Like he's like, I'm taking no chances, no risks here. Like you will be safe.
The really weird thing is I was born with asthma and really can hardly breathe when I inhale smoke. I also have this huge raised birthmark on my right calf where, according to Michael, a piece of stabilizing wood fell on his daughter in that exact spot and she couldn't move during the factory fire. So like, is Aaliyah his daughter reincarnated?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe because he's putting so much effort into keeping her safe.
A couple of months ago, my friends and I almost burnt down the house cooking for a Spanish project, but that's a whole other story.
Oh my gosh, why is fire following you?
Well, the kitchen was smoking and I started to suffocate. One of the girls that was with me took me outside to get a breath. After getting a breath, we went back in and I looked in the corner where a candle was burning and it was freaking out. I went over to blow it out. So yeah, that's my first story. And don't worry, that was a long one. So the next one is of my great-grandma's visit before she passed. Let me start off by telling you about my great-grandma and her long life. My grandma's name was Bonnie. She was born in 1919, and this girl's a fucking badass for living so long. She grew up in a small town in Missouri with her family, and she would always tell me about her and her pony she named Ginger running through grass fields when she was a child. Bonnie never cussed, never drank, never smoked. She was also a very dedicated Methodist. Literally a perfect old lady. Fast forward to these last couple of years. About 8 years ago, my great-grandpa passed away due to his age. His name was Russell. He had served in World War II and is a great old man. These two had a beautiful love that they shared, and it's something I truly long to find myself one day. That makes me want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
They never fought or yelled at each other and lived in the same little one-story house together for over 65 years. Honestly, what is love? Bonnie and Russell had 2 kids together, Alberta, my grandma, and Gerald, my uncle. The whole family is very close, and I believe it was my great-grandparents' love that truly brought us all together.
That's so sweet.
They were so in love that after my grandpa passed, we thought for sure my grandma would join him in heaven shortly after. But this chick lived until she was 99. One day, when Bonnie was home by herself, she fell going to the bathroom, and Alberta found her and took her to the doctor. Turned out she had 2 brain bleeds and a broken hip. After a while in the hospital, she was taken to a nursing home and stayed for a couple of months. Fast forward to a couple weeks before she passed. My family went to go visit her thinking it was the last time. We talked about her whole life, and it was heartwarming hearing about the long and wholesome life she had. I barrel raced, so we talked about horses and rodeo for a while, and Grandma said, "I'm sure Russell and I will be at all of your rodeos." Like the baby I am, I just started bawling. She also then admitted that my dad was her favorite grandson. Anyway, the night before she passed, I just had this feeling. Like I didn't get closure, and I felt like I needed to see her again. I went to sleep with an uneasy feeling until I couldn't tell if I was awake or asleep. But I remember everything from this night. I woke up to see my great-grandmother sitting on the edge of my bed next to where I was laying, but I wasn't alarmed. I felt very safe with her there. I remember talking to her, and she said, "I'm going to be with Grandpa tonight. I love you so much, sweetheart. Good luck with your horses. I'll always be watching." She then kissed me on the forehead and vanished. I woke up for real this time, tears running down my face. And then when I woke up in the morning, my mom came into my room to tell me that my grandma had passed away last night. It took me a couple of weeks to tell anyone about my experience, but when I did, my dad said he had a similar dream a couple days prior to that, and that he believed it was her way of telling us goodbye and giving us closure. She passed a couple of days before Valentine's Day and a couple weeks before my birthday. I told my mom she was probably celebrating Valentine's Day with her true love. That's the story of my great-grandma's appearance in my dream in quotes, the night before. But okay, one more. So there was one night I was going to the bathroom. It's 2 a.m. and I heard 5 little knocks on the front door. It sounded like my sister coming up the stairs, so I wrote it off and I laid back in bed. 2 minutes later, I heard a much louder and more aggressive bang, bang, bang on the door. So I start freaking out. These bangs keep going on for a full 30 to 45 minutes while I'm in my room with my door shut, trying to will it away. And my room is right by the front door, so I would have to pass the front door, which had a glass center, to get to my parents' room. I got on my phone and I called both my parents and my sister multiple times, but no one answered because they're all heavy sleepers. I walked very fast across the house. I swung open my parents' door and woke them up saying there's someone at the door. They've been knocking for like 30 minutes. My dad goes to the door. He opens it and finds his coworker there. He had been knocking to say that the cooler stopped working at his work and he needed help. I truly thought I was going to die. And it was just my dad's coworker.
Intense commitment to knock for that long.
Also, like, what's he going to do?
Right?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I am glad that I didn't die. Thanks for the podcast.
I was going to say, like, I mean, even without the last part being a real paranormal experience, Aaliyah has had so much happen. And like, it's not just all relatives, although maybe we could argue that there was
a past life
relative.
Yeah.
But it is interesting just like how clear the messages are too. Like it doesn't leave that much room for guessing. Or like even when it's not clear, it gets answered later.
Right, which is my favorite thing. I was thinking about a radio rental story that I listened to where
now that you're finally listening.
I can't remember the name, but so the story being shared was like this girl was sleeping in her apartment and she kept hearing knocking on her window and she thought it was her boyfriend like fucking with her because her boyfriend always like played pranks like that, but it's in the middle of the night. Finally, she like says like, okay, stop it, whatever her boyfriend's name is. And she looks out the window and it's not her freaking boyfriend. It is literally someone who a couple weeks later is caught as a serial killer and rapist. And he's literally outside her window and he goes, "Can I talk to you?"
No.
Humans are fucking terrifying.
It's so terrifying.
See, we here at Two Girls, One Ghost find the dark in the light. We had to follow up that sweet story with something dark.
Okay. I have a story called My Brother Possessed Me.
Oh,
Archangel,
lovely.
Guardian, and a Demon Under My Bed.
Okay, so this has a little bit of everything.
A little bit.
Finding the dark and the light. I'm glad I saved my last one for last because it's
extra heartwarming.
It's fun.
Okay.
Like heartwarming in a fun way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hello, wonderful ghostesses.
Hey.
You can call me Kit. Like the American Girl doll.
Love.
I've been listening to Two Girls, One Ghost since late April, early May 2025. Oh, so you're newer. Welcome.
Welcome.
I happily found your podcast on YouTube when I was searching for Appalachia Reddit stories. Ayo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into some of my paranormal stories. My older brother, Owen, passed away September 13th, 2008, 2 days away from turning 3.
I'm so sorry.
I was only 5 months old. Owen had drowned in a pool, which is partly why I think I have this really deep fear of water.
Of course.
Almost every year, my parents and I visit his grave to redecorate the flowers at his headstone.
Mm-mm.
When I was younger, we would release balloons and give him a small gift, mainly Hot Wheels, because Owen was obsessed with the movie Cars. This year, we didn't release any balloons because my parents claimed, well, he would say he's 20 and he's too old for balloons. The cemetery, this is going to be, oh my God, I'm already going to start crying.
Yeah. We failed at our own game.
It's like, we already read these stories because we picked them out.
But reading them out loud is just like such a different, yeah.
The cemetery he's buried at is always windy in a way that I believe has nothing to do with the highway nearby. At the end of the day, when Owen passed, my mom went to pick him up from the neighbor who'd been watching me while my parents frantically searched for him. When I was back in my mother's arms, I reached a tiny baby hand up and I held her cheek, something my brother had been known to do. A few days after Owen passed, my dad was standing out on the front porch. A white feather fell from the sky, landing in front of his feet. We still have the feather somewhere. For many years after Owen had passed, my parents would find crayons shoved in between couch cushions, new toddler scribbles on the wall that I had never made. And I was a creepy kid growing up. My parents would hear me talking while playing alone, and when asked who I was talking to, I would confidently say in my little toddler speech, "I talking to Owen." And there was also a few times that I dutifully reported to my mother that Owen is going to Michael's house, or "Mommy, Owen's playing with Michael."
Oh, that's so sweet. His
Owen,
friend?
Yeah. Owen didn't have any friends named Michael, so to say these comments really confused my parents. Now, let me tell you about the time Owen possessed me.
It sounds like he may have already done it.
Yeah. We moved to Houston when I was around 3, after previously living in New Orleans. One day, as my mom and I were shopping at H-E-B, I love that store, as we were in the fruit section, I excitedly started pointing at a bunch of bananas. "Mommy, I want the bananas!" "You don't like bananas, love?" "Yes, I do. I always liked bananas." This sudden enthusiasm towards bananas was so odd because I was a really picky eater. What makes my mom believe that this was paranormal was the fact that my brother was a huge banana lover. Mm. That boy, according to my parents, could eat 3 or more bananas in one day. Another cute encounter I'd like to mention happened on Christmas morning. My parents were awoken to their TV blaring some Spanish channel, but what made this weird was that the remote had been on the nightstand. The TV had not been on. My parents didn't know a lick of Spanish. They say that Owen was just really excited to start Christmas Day.
Oh, he's like, wake up!
Wake up! As I got older, my human ego grew. I slowly stopped talking to and playing with my brother Owen. So when I was around 6-ish, he found another way to communicate with me. Through my dreams.
I was just going to say. He's like, you don't get to decide.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
I am the older brother, and I choose to hang out with you. Whenever I have contact with spirits in my dreams, it's always a lucid dream. Mm-hmm. In these dreams, Owen always appears the same age that he would be at that time. We talk for what feels like hours, but still entirely too short because the dream ends.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, these dreams have lessened, but at least I do get to see him grow up with me. The last dream I had of him was lucid. We were in an empty apartment. We stood near a window watching the sunrise. I was 13, so this would have made him about 16. He grinned at me with the same grin as our dad, those same round cheeks. He had brown hair that reached his shoulders and the same dark blue eyes that he had in every photo. I cannot remember what he said for the life of me, but I loved that we got to hang out for a few hours. He eventually hugged me before the dream ended. I woke up still feeling the hug and crying. The most recent dream I had with Owen happened in June. And for some context, I'd been packing and preparing for a 3-week trip. The dream took place in my house. Everything was exactly the same, so no weird dream warping. Even my dog Lucy wasn't there while my other 2 dogs were. And at this time, Lucy had been staying at my aunt's house because she's not a fan of the kennel and hadn't been boarded for longer than a week. I heard the sound of hangers being moved in the laundry room, so I walk into the room and I see clothes being moved on the rack. And I feel Owen there. He stands, handing me the clothes. "Thank you, Owen," I said, as I leave to put the clothes in my room. I don't know why I didn't see him, but I am glad he wanted to help me pack. My very last story about Owen happened in 2020. I was laying down in bed. I was half awake, half asleep. My rat terrier mix, Baby Girl, I think that's her name, Baby Girl.
Baby Girl.
Capital
So
B,
cute.
was curled up next to my head and my upper torso on her pillow and blanket. My back was to her as I laid on my side. I was wearing earbuds, falling asleep to whatever middle school me was listening to, and the music started to glitch out. That is when I felt someone standing next to the bed. I felt someone's warm, comforting hand cup my cheek, like Owen.
Like he did to his mom.
Mm-hmm. As I start falling deeper into sleep, Baby Girl goes full alert mode. She gets closer to me. She's growling in the direction of the warm hand. And then the warmth immediately faded. Normally, Baby Girl never growls, opting to embrace her terrier and bark. So this threatening growl confused me. But anyway, on to my next topic.
Yeah, why was Baby Girl was like...
She's just like, there's a man in the house.
I know, but it was Owen.
It was Owen cupping the cheek.
No.
On to my next topic. Would you ladies believe me if I told you that Archangel Michael is my guardian angel?
Why not?
Well, the Michael little me said was hanging out with Owen and was Owen's friend, I think is my guardian angel. My mom even got confirmation of this from a psychic.
Ooh.
My mom was at a casino in Louisiana with her best friends, my aunt and my grandmother, and she ran into an old coworker. She offered to do a tarot reading for the group, and my mom went for the very last reading of the group. One of the cards was the card of Michael. My mom immediately recognized it and pointed it out to her. And her coworker told her that he looks over both her and I.
Oh,
she also
sweet.
said that eventually I would stop talking to spirits, and that was a part of growing up, but I wouldn't lose my connection completely.
And it's true, you haven't lost your connection completely.
Mm-hmm. But wait, there's more.
Hell yeah.
While I was taking the PSATs in freshman year, the name Michael could not get out of my head.
As you're trying to like answer all of the questions.
Right.
It's like,
Just
Michael.
For the past week, I felt this impending doom and anxiety that I chalked up to just facing this upcoming test.
Mm-hmm.
When the name popped into my head, a sense of peace washed over me. And later that day, my mom, my grandmother, Lucy, and I got in the car to take the drive up to Tulsa. This was where my sister was temporarily living for her job. And that feeling of dread was ice in my veins. We were stuck in traffic. I felt panicked. But once again, the name Michael popped in my head, followed by a voice that sounded male saying, "It's okay. You're going to be okay."
Aww.
And within seconds, the driver behind us rear-ended us because she was looking down at her phone.
That's terrifying.
Everyone was okay, but certainly a bit shaken up. I was more worried for Lucy, who'd been sleeping next to me, and she was flung onto the floor from the impact. The car had a dent in the bumper, and what sucked was the fact that the woman then sped off, so she didn't even take responsibility. She was not being a good human.
Okay, listen, I understand that maybe spirits shouldn't intervene, but Michael's like intervening already and saying all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't
he stop it from happening?
Or like, why can't he be like, hey, the lady behind you is about to rear end you, like move up or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
although maybe this was the way to protect them. Like, what if they had continued on their path?
Sure.
What if something horrible would have happened?
Worse would have happened.
And he delayed them by
But he's saying
30 minutes when they had to pull over.
It's going to be okay right before being rear-ended.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I know Sabrina has probably been waiting for this story.
Is it a possession or a demon? Then yes.
I wake up in the wee hours of the morning to sounds coming from under my bed.
Oh my God.
It sounds like scratching, like chewing.
Oh.
And as I come to a bit more, I realize Lucy is not on the bed. The sounds have stopped. So hesitantly, I whisper, "Lucy?" But I don't hear anything. No stirring by the door, no paws patting on the carpet, no excited puppy whines. And now I'm thinking my parents have taken her downstairs for breakfast, or that some demon under my bed has eaten my dog. And so, confused, I get out of bed. I grab my phone, and the screen reads 4:20 a.m.
Hey.
Too early for my parents to get up and feed the dogs. So nervously, I turn on my phone flashlight. I get down on my stomach, shining the light under the bed. And instead of some demon, I am met with my 4-month-old mini Australian Shepherd Lucy, just chilling under the bed. That was the day that Lucy got the nickname Lucy Fur.
Dead. That's clever.
She's my beloved little weirdo. And now she's gotten too big to crawl under the bed. But some of our other nicknames for her she's earned in her 3 years of life include Demon, Gremlin, Stink, Stinky, Stinker, Wicklebutt, Lulu, Puppy, and Roach. Can you all tell I like to yap about my dogs?
I love it.
Anyway, that's all for you ladies today. Love you both. See you on the other side, Kit.
Kit, I'm really sorry for your loss. But I do love that Owen has continued to be such a big role in your life. And he's your big brother. He's always going to be there.
I know. She's so sweet.
So sweet.
Oh my gosh. And just like his little hand, like the fact that he kept doing the
caressing the cheek.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one to end us on.
Okay.
And I'm not going to read the subject line, but it is from our listener, Katie. Hello and good day, ghostesses. I have happily shared this story over the past few weeks with friends and family, but I realized I hadn't shared it with you all yet. The recent story that included the shaken coffee table reminded me to share. So I'm no stranger to the paranormal, but it's rare to have objectively happy and heartwarming stories to share with people. But this is one of those. Now, this might seem like a lot of background, but it's because there are a few theories which we should discuss at the end of this. Let's begin. My husband and I moved into this house summer of 2025. It was a flipped home in a semi-rural area, and it looked very nice and updated. During the inspection, I remember remarking to my husband that I felt a quiet older man was here for a while, that he was living here peacefully alone. After we met our neighbors, sure enough, that's exactly what they confirmed. Prior to us buying the home, an old man lived in the home for quite some time. I say this because when I mentioned that someone died in our house, a lot of people clam up, but this man left an aura of quietness, rootedness, and contentment.
That's nice.
He had lived in the house for 49 years, mostly kept to himself, but was kind and content.
He loved the house. He took care of it. It was good vibes.
He had children and a family that lived nearby, but lived in the house alone for most of the entirety that he had owned the home. We came to find out that he actually passed away in the house after we moved in. Both the neighbors we met mentioned this, and I even found his obituary online that also mentioned he passed in his home. It was unfortunately sudden and not a hospice situation. So at the same time, I moved in with the expectation of establishing a connection to this house spirit, witchy behavior shit. I was connecting to the home and working to build a relationship with it because I also wanted to live here until our ends. I worked on this for a few weeks prior to the incident. So now enter our neighbor. We'll call her Cece. She's funky, friendly, fantastic. She's in her 80s. She introduced herself and once again told us about the previous owner and that she was great friends with him and was, when I first read this, I thought it said that she was still in contact with him.
Oh.
But it says she's still in contact with his children.
Okay. That's so funny.
I mean, a spunky 80-year-old, why not?
Right.
So she had lived in her home for 30-something years with her husband who had passed away the year previously inside their home. So she had known our previous owner for decades and was very close to him. But now she lived alone with a handful of cats. She introduced herself to us on a Friday. 3 days later, on a Monday, my husband and I are sitting on our couch with our dog watching a show. It's 9:45 p.m. It was our usual routine to wait until dark and then take the pups out for a last-minute potty and head to bed at 10. At 9:45 p.m., our couch started shaking. Not vibrating, shaking, as if someone was jumping on the couch. Even our dog looked confused. We spent the next 2 minutes being like, what the fuck just happened? We had both lived on the West Coast previously, and so we immediately suspected an earthquake, even though this was the Midwest. I checked the earthquake map for our area and nothing popped up. But we also realized that nothing else in our house shook, just the couch. And it was the couch they were sitting on. We calmed back down, decided that's weird, but we restarted our show. Not a minute later, it happened again. At this point, I was pretty stressed out and I said, fuck this, I'm out. I'll take the dogs out and then we're going to bed. There were 6 minutes left of the show and it was dusk, but not all the way dark. As I walked out onto our back deck, I saw a white object move out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look in that direction and saw something small fall in front of our neighbor Cece's front door. Mind you, it's a semi-rural area and her house was far enough away that it was hard to see. But even in this hard to see light, I could see this thing. I didn't see any movement, but I could barely make out a lump on the ground. Instinctively, I knew something was wrong. I ran inside. I told my husband to get the dogs, and I was worried that something happened to Cece, so I was running over there. At this point, I'm in my pajamas and flip-flops, hauling ass down a country road in the dark. I made it to her driveway, and as I'm walking up her driveway, I hear cries for help. I got to my neighbor, and I see that she's bloody, banged up, unable to stand, and without her glasses.
Oh my gosh.
My husband was shortly behind me, and I won't spend too much time on the details, but we stayed with her for a while, trying to get her up and into a chair, and called an ambulance. She was in great spirits, but unable to walk or stand. We found out that she had broken her hip and injured her elbow and fallen off her 3-foot porch. By the time my husband and I were both with her, it was dark enough outside that we were using our phone flashlights to see. She told us that she was so incredibly grateful that I saw her because she had been on the ground crying for help, assuming that she would be stuck until someone came to her house, who knows how long from then. Her mailbox was at the end of a long driveway. And truly, shortly after this, it had thunderstormed. She said an angel must have gotten help. And that's when I said, you might not believe this, but I really think someone did. I told her the story of the shaking couch, the white ball in the corner of my eye, right as I stepped outside, and the feeling that she was in trouble.
I have full body chills.
She speculated that it was her husband looking out for her. And upon reflecting, I wondered maybe it was the friend who had lived in our house, or even the spirit of our house that had known her presence for decades. Whatever it was, we agree that something divine intervened.
This episode is feeding into my anxiety, and I'm like, I need everyone that I love to live in my house with me and never leave. Like, no one's allowed to do anything.
I need everyone in my life to die so that they're watching out for me on the other side.
I need to keep everyone safe and underneath my watchful eye.
This happened like not long ago. This was a couple weeks ago. I don't know who it was, but I do know that couches don't violently shake on their own twice. And if I had waited just 5 more minutes before going outside, would I have even been able to see anything in the dark? And I also know I was alerted just in time to see her in her need of help. And I know that she's incredibly loved and has a lot of great people looking out for her, both living and in the spirit realm. Thanks so much. Stay sweet, ghostesses. Katie.
Well, she's so lucky to have a neighbor like you, Katie.
I know. Jeez. And like so many spirits.
Right.
And that's also, that makes me feel reassured too, that like
ghostly and
Katie
living.
and her partner are also going to be like looked out for.
Yeah. Everyone in this like little corner of this neighborhood is friendly to each other and also looked out for by the spirits who once also got to be there. And
you found a great
neighbors.
Home and neighborhood. Seriously. Wow. Now I want pictures of your house. And this old man. I want a picture of this man.
Right? Yeah, so we can frame it and put it behind us.
So who's this on your bookshelf?
Man.
Just a man.
So heartwarming. How does everyone feel about it?
I'm not feeling great.
Heartwarming is inherently very sad.
Right. And that story is like not even sad in any way. It's like being saved.
It's just the idea of
being saved.
I feel like it's also like my mind was going to like what it's like to be older and not have people checking on you all the time, and to have that fear of being like, I physically am stuck in this place and I can't help myself. And I don't know when the next person will come looking for me. Like that.
Can I make this about me real quick?
Yes.
Because my first instinct was like, I just feel like, and this is something I've been having arguments with my mother about, but like, I feel like I've always been the child that's like fiercely independent. I'm the one kid who like went across the country to go to college, and I've never really been dependent on my parents. Like the second I graduated college, I was self-sufficient. I like didn't ask for money, nothing. And like, I feel like they have just like put this role of like, oh, Sabrina's fine. She doesn't need help.
So they give all of their help and resources to
everyone else. And I yelled at my mom the other day. I was like, sometimes I want to be taken care of too.
Yeah. It needs to feel fair.
But anyway, just a note to check on all of your friends, even if they seem fiercely independent and A-okay. Sometimes those are the ones who need extra love.
And if I have you on Find My Friends, trust that I see you every day.
I know where you are.
I know where you are. Gotta make sure you're safe.
You'll never hide from Corinne.
No.
But yeah, so a little bit about me, a lot of tears from us, and really heartwarming stories from all of you. Let us know if you really want another one of these anytime soon, because I
do want a miracle one. Oops, I bumped my mic. Sure. I do want a miracle one soon. I'm going to add it to
Can we wait a couple weeks?
Yep. I'm going to do it right now.
Maybe that's like the beginning of the new year.
Okay. We will space them out. We'll cry every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, that's a good amount of crying.
Yeah.
Because I cry enough. Actually, there was a long period of time where I stopped crying. Like I had no tears left.
Just none.
I dried up. I was a dry well.
Yeah.
I was the desert, the Sahara of tears.
Sometimes it's like there are so many opportunities that I could cry, but my anxiety takes over. And it's like I'm just panicked. And it's like all of the what could come out in tears is just like chest
Anxiety.
burning,
Yeah.
like heart racing, like, completely
Should we
frozen.
do some
in
meditations
place.
for you?
No.
Okay. I tried. The other day, actually, this is the day that we recorded with Elisa Kelly, which that episode comes out at the end of this year, in December.
Are you going to talk about when you went to the bathroom and you came back and I was crying?
No. I was. Well, I was talking about that day.
We always cry when we're with Elisa.
We do.
Can we just trauma dump on you?
Literally, even that night, Elisa was like, "I feel so bad. I always make you cry," and I was like,
"She's just such a like opening and welcome and trusted soul that it's just like,
is.
Can I just tell you everything that my heart feels?"
Yeah, and the stars say it. So
yeah,
you know.
Sorry, Elisa. We want you to have fun here and not just be like,
not just
listen to my woes.
I know. I bet she gets that a lot from people.
I think so. She has that openness. To her.
That morning, I was like so excited because it was like the first day in like weeks that I was going to have a morning. And I was like, I'm like the night before, I was like, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to have coffee. And then I woke up to a call from the guests at the Airbnb that the sewage was coming back up the toilet. So I literally had to start my day with that and like deal with that. And then like my whole beautiful morning was ruined. And then I like had called plumbers and all this stuff. I had figured it out. And I was like, I need to get in the shower and cry. Like, I just need 20 minutes to cry. Like, I was just so overwhelmed. I get in the shower and I had like 3 calls. So I literally like couldn't cry. Then I had to drive here and like I'm driving here and I'm like, maybe I'll cry on the drive. Like, I was too busy to cry. I didn't have time.
Schedule your cry.
Yeah.
That's when you know you need to slow down, when you don't have time. When you literally have to schedule a cry but can't find time.
You have to postpone your cry. Yeah. It's my party. I can cry if I want to.
But can you?
No, I can't. It's not even my party. I thought it was mine. It's not.
All right, guys.
Love y'all.
This has been, as my friend Marissa used to say, it's been fun and it's been real, but it hasn't been real fun. It's been kind of sad.
It's been kind of sad.
Hurts my heart.
But it's still been fun.
But we love you. And we're glad we got to do this one.
And you can keep sending us heartwarming stories because sometimes they fit into other categories too. And, you know, sometimes I surprise you and I say, I actually picked a heartwarming one to end it on. So email them to us at twogirlsmaghost@gmail.com. Join us on Patreon for lots of fun things, all the things. Check it out.
We're about to be with our campfire stories, folks, in just an hour.
Just a moment. And thank you to our editor and producer, Jamie Ryan. And thank you to our producer, Emma Leventer. We're so grateful for all of your help.
And we will
see you on the other side.